Hey everyone, this is Natalie from Supernova, and today as part of our at-home learning series, I'm going to be taking you through the steps of one of the experiments that we've posted online for you to do at home. And this experiment has everything to do with our super science substance, cornstarch. This experiment is in two parts, so I'll be doing them in two separate videos. The first one has to do with static electricity. So we're going to talk about what exactly that is, how it's generated, and get into the finer details of electrons and electron transfer. The next part of the experiment will of course be using cornstarch again to make a non-Newtonian substance. And this is really simple but really cool when you see it in action. Okay, so for part one of the experiment, what you'll be needing is a balloon, cornstarch, oil. You'll be needing a quarter cup of each of these, so I just have my measuring cup out here, and then a large bowl and a spoon. So before I jump into the steps of the video, I just want to explain a few concepts so that you have a better understanding of the science as we go along. One of the things we'll be doing first is blowing up our balloon and rubbing it onto our hair. And as you've probably seen before, when we rub a balloon onto our hair, it makes our hair very staticky. And what's actually happening when we do this is there's a transfer of electrons from our hair onto the blown up balloon. Now, everything in the world, from this spoon to my pen, to my hair, my nose, it's all made up of tiny little atoms. And each atom has electrons, protons, and neutrons. So electrons have a negative charge, protons have a positive charge, and neutrons are neutral. They don't have a charge. So when we are rubbing the balloon onto our hair and transferring the electrons from our hair to the balloon, we are creating a charge imbalance, and this is what creates static electricity. So say, for example, I have a buildup of electrons in my hand. So again, a charge imbalance, which is static electricity. When I go to touch a doorknob, the electrons, you can think of it as a river of millions of electrons flowing really fast out of me to try and neutralize that charge. And when those electrons are flowing, that's when I get a static shock. So I'll explain things in more detail as we go along, but I just wanted you to have a little bit of that background before we get started. So the first thing that we're going to do in our experiment is mix a quarter cup of cornstarch and a quarter cup of oil. Okay, so you want to mix it until it's smooth like this and about that consistency. So fairly thick. You can add more cornstarch if needed to get it to that consistency. You just play with the amounts a little bit. And then, like we mentioned before, I'm going to take my balloon and just rub it on my hair to create that static electricity. So again, just as a reminder, we're transferring electrons from our hair to the balloon. Okay, so then with our negatively charged side of the balloon facing the bowl, we're going to scoop up some of our mixture and just pour it right next to it, but not onto it. And we can see, as I'm pouring, you can see the mixture being pulled towards the balloon. And if you pour it slowly, you can really see the effect of that. And so what's actually happening here is our mixture is very lightweight, but also has a neutral charge. And the balloon, which has a surplus of electrons, is attracting the neutral charge of our mixture. So electrons attract both protons and neutrons, and that's why when we pour this, it gets pulled towards the balloon. Thanks for watching part 1 of our cornstarch experiment. Part 2 is up next.